Yo, what's going on, guys? So in this video, we're going to be going over things that I've learned that have helped me progress in Throne and Liberty. This isn't necessarily going to be a guide. There's going to be some tips and tricks in here, but it's more things that have helped me progress through Throne and Liberty that I know will help you. But before we get into that, make sure you guys drop a sub. Make sure you guys drop a like and a comment. We are trying to hit 1K subs, and we are doing a 1K sub giveaway. So the quicker we get to 1K, the quicker we get to give back to you guys, my amazing community. And thank you so much for the support you guys have already given me. It truly means the world to me. But let's jump straight into it. So the first thing we are going to talk about is going to be here in Silus Abyss. Now, a lot of people like to come farm here and use their tokens to basically like go down all the way to 0. But a lot of people don't realize, and this took me a little bit to understand, but when we come down here, it's basically just all corridors, and it's filled with annoying creatures that drag you in, and it's a bother. But if you guys have the turtle morph, you can swim in the lava. A lot of people didn't know this. You can swim in the lava free of pain and suffering, and you can actually get all the way over to your spots. Each of these different like areas over here have grappling hooks that you can get up to, and you could just swim over there, not deal with any of the mobs, get to the places that you need to go. It's really simple. I highly recommend you guys put on the turtle morph, not only because, well, it helps you with the lava, but I'll be honest, I love the turtle morphs over the llama, so you should too. The next thing we are going to talk about sort of kind of has to do with the new rune system that has come out, and it's got me thinking a lot about, well, gear and all that good stuff. But basically this next thing is progression in the game. Now, a lot of content creators and a lot of people, they talk about progression, how you should do things, and they don't really explain the reasoning why too well. They're just like, this is the reasoning why you should do it, and I'm gonna give my personal thoughts on it. But as you can see, we are basically almost done with our build. The last thing we need to do is get our last trade on here, and then we're starting to work on our ruins. Now, I know a lot of you have heard you guys should start with blue, fully trait your blue, go on to your purple, etc, etc, etc. You guys know this. But the reasoning why is a little bit more complex and more mundane. So, for those who are going completely free to play or struggle to get the gear and the traits that you need, the reasoning why you want to go in this certain order is because it allows you to get gear score, or combat power I should say, way easier. If you go fully traded blue over purples that aren't traded, you're going to be at 3,000 combat power very easily. Now, of course, if you're going to swipe and you're going to do all this stuff, you can skip blues. But the reasoning why, again, increase your combat power. People only care about combat power in this game, if we're being honest. If you look at the party board, so many people are trying to put higher and higher combat power, so that's the reasoning why. For me though, at least on my ult, I did go the blue route because, again, I don't really bother too much with my ult. It's mainly a money maker. But for my main, I ended up going for the purple route myself. I straight up went there, and it wasn't too much of an issue for me. Now that the runes are in the game, it's got me thinking like the progression. So here's my thought process on the progression of the game, and it sort of stressed me out a little bit, but this is sort of to allow you to not be stressed, to not feel like you're falling behind in the progression of this game. Go for blues. Go for purples then, and then worry about runes. Get your build completely together before you worry about runes. I've been going into rune runs, and they haven't been going too well for me. Not that I've personally been messing up, but it's just rune runs or trial runs that get you runes are extraordinarily difficult. They are extraordinarily difficult. Do not feel like you're falling behind. I play this way too much for my own good as it is, and I don't really have too many ruins. There's going to be so many ways to get ruins, so many ways to get everything. As the story progresses, as Throne progresses, you guys have seen each piece of gear becomes easier and easier to get. So take the Shadow Harvester pants. Before, you could only get them from Juno. Well, now you can get them from a dungeon. And the same goes for basically everything. Weapons are probably going to be a little bit, but as it goes, everything becomes easier and easier to get. Do not worry, you are not falling behind. Now, as many of you know, there are certain things in this game that I do not like to do. I don't like to do Mystic Keys every day. I don't like to fish. I don't like to do all these mundane things. Now, I know these things do help you out. To what extent is probably not as much as, say, doing a dungeon run or getting lucent in open world dungeons, but they can help. I was for the longest time opposed to cooking. I didn't see a reason to cook. For me personally, I'm never gonna fish in a video game ever again. I tried it on New World, not for me. I tried it on Once Human, not for me. I can't stand, I really cannot stand fishing, which sort of caused me to not want to cook. And I know a lot of other people are gonna be in the same boat as me. Now, if we look at something like this, this is a high tier cooking plate. It will increase all your hit chance, skill damage, all that good stuff. Now, a lot of these different things will take fish to make. That sort of put me off from cooking. However, this is going to be your call to start cooking, and I'll tell you exactly how I've been able to increase my level to level 20 to be able to craft the ardent jelly. Well, we could just start right here. Look at this. Ardent jelly, wild pot of I don't even know how to pronounce that, roaring steak, all these different things, they don't take much. They literally take a dungeon run material and then basically things that you get in the open world dungeons. These are your end game cooking, and I didn't know about these until, well, pretty recently, and they don't take fishing. So when I found that out, I was like, oh my god, I need to level up my cooking, and I need to get these because also these do help you get world boss drops. So if you guys want a lot of lucent, make sure you guys do cooking. But how do we get to level 20 really quickly in a really efficient manner without worrying? Well, I'm glad you asked. We come over to here to healthy milk. This is going to be the way that you level up so quickly. All it takes is routine, which you get from Silus Abyss and some other sources. And then it also takes milk. And to craft one is 230 XP. Now, as you get higher and higher and higher, it's going to take a ton more. But this literally got me to like level 17 in a day. It was so easy. All you have to do is get to this, and you can just level up your cooking tremendously. Milk you can buy from your vendors in an unlimited amount. All it takes is Solent, so the gold, it's nothing. And then you probably have a lot of routine saved up. And all you could do really is you just buy the milk, get the routine, make this, sell it back to be able to afford more milk. It's so simple. It is such a easy thing to do. I highly recommend you do it. So next is going to be skills. A lot of people are in the works of upgrading their skills up to their max level. For me, I'm getting close to maxing out my skills, as you guys can see. And I've done this in a specific way to allow me to basically just slingshot myself. Now, a lot of people will tell you to get the blue contracts, your daily contracts. Let me show you where I go to get my contracts. All the way up here at Watcher's Post, you have your contract manager over here. Now, people say, do the blues, do the blues, do the blues. For me, that's fine. That's fine. But I've personally found a way better way to do it, because if we take a look at the blues, to make this, it takes literally 15 of these. So if you get a contract for 33, it takes one contract to only get 2 of these parchments. And then if we take an even closer look, it takes 5 to get this. That's a pretty slow grind to get there. For me personally, what I've done to increase my skills beyond just getting these, beyond just getting the blue ones, personally for me, it has been, let's see if we can find it. These precious omnipotence parchments, they are a 1-to-1 trade, and I guarantee you have a ton of these that you guys aren't using. Dissolve these down into the precious parchments. It's so simple. You get both of these from open world dungeons through your abyssal contract tokens. Burn these down. Burn these down. Just make them into these precious parchments. You won't need them for a little bit, and it'll allow you to get those purple books way quicker. And finally, we're going to be on our alt for this one, because this tip is kind of nice. But it has to do with the new material transmutation system that has come to the game. Now, as you can see, I don't have a lot of materials left on this account, and that's because I've been gambling them away, but it has been worth it. Personally, for me, I've basically been getting rid of all my materials on my alts. I mean, technically, you can do the same on your main. It all depends on how you use your materials. On my alt, I'm never planning on doing that. But basically, what you can do is you can turn materials into a gambling system. And if we look over to here, this is personally how I go about it. When I do accessories, because it's basically the only thing that makes any money on this game. But if we come over to tier 3, you can see we have the universal band of power, we have the belt of bloodlust, and we have all these different accessories that will allow you to make a ton of money. And in fact, it has made me a ton of money. And don't roast me in the comments for doing this, but I thought about it a little bit too late. I should have turned this into a lithograph, but I didn't, because I don't even know. But basically, I ended up getting myself a band of universal power with buff duration, which is the lowest one. I could have turned it into a lithograph, didn't. But either way, I made 1,200 lucent off of this just by gambling, which has helped me out so much. You can get the band of universal power. You can get other things. If there's materials that you guys do not use on the regular, I highly recommend that you turn it into a gamba system. Don't get me wrong, you might not ever get the band of universal power. If we take a look at the drop rate, it is very low, but it's still a chance. Out of 100, you should be getting it at least once. I highly recommend you do it. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, but let me know in the comments what you guys think, if there's some tips and tricks that I have missed out on or that you guys would like to see in future videos. We can make this into sort of a series on things that will help you. Just the little things, nothing crazy, nothing that is like game breaking that everybody knows, but just little things that may be going over some people's heads. I would love to know in the comments. And again, make sure you guys drop a sub. We are doing that 1K sub giveaway. We want to give back to you, and the quicker we get there, the quicker we're able to give back to my amazing community. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys. So again, thank you to everyone. I hope each and every one of you guys has a wonderful day. And as always, take care. I'll talk to you guys later.